to give a short and quick presentation. And now I'd like to call here Mr. Kapil Awasthi, Senior Security Consultant, System Engineer Group, Checkpoint Software Technologies India, and his presentation topic will be security for the next generation.
Between you and lunch, so I will try to make it crisp, and probably the presentation also will be a little on a different ground, because I want to talk about the security aspects of banking. To start with, security and IT and security has a very well has actually grown hand in hand with banking technology. If you see a few of the things which we have seen, the trends which have been evolved over the period of time, that in the IT, let's say that when the computer became popular, the banking also has started doing computerization at the same time. Then in the IT world, the other thing which became very popular was basically server farms, where a lot of servers have actually going forward, and that is the time when banks have started doing branch banking kind of stuff. Then we saw the growth in networking, and that is the time when banks started doing core banking, because we can actually connect multiple branches together. And now in the next generation, what we see, internet is becoming very, very popular. And that's what is attracting most of the customers coming on their transaction. Internet is a medium for the business now. And we see the net banking is already a reality in most of the developed market, and we are already talking about the mobile banking for the next. So we have seen that as and when the IT has grown, and has actually banking customers have actually utilized that for delivering better channels to the customers. Try to see how the banks have reacted to these different phases from security perspective was when the computerization was popular. If you see the kind of security, which banks were investing on antivirus. Okay, yes, we need to put antivirus because they have computers and they need to protect from virus. Then when the branch banking became popular and there was few computers connected together, people realized that the virus are probably due to most of the time due to the patches missing in the operating system and stuff like that. The patch management solutions is what is banks have started actually going for. Then when the core banking started, people started thinking, okay, now I need to connect networks, there are different branches connecting together, we need to do perimeter security, we need to secure our branches, and that's where the banks have started actually investing into the lot of network security kind of stuff. Now, the challenge which banks started doing is that because the security was after thought, the networks were laid, WAN networks were connected, and security was after thought. Because when the virus which was connected to one PC had started propagating to the network, the security was bolted on top of it. So that's how the banks reacted. And then in the net banking stage, if you see, if there's one thing which is making net banking possible today is security. And if there's one thing which will stop net users to adapt to this new technology or this new delivery mechanism will be a security. That if the user is not confident of doing transactions on the net, he will never be able to actually, he will not do transactions in spite of whatever castles will build or fortify our network for. So security becomes a business processor. It no more remains that afterthought or cost to operation, because more your systems are secure, the more confidence is in the user to actually use those delivery mechanisms, and the success of the actual mechanism will actually happen. So let's see what we have today. Today we have built a network which is more of a networking components, somewhere where we have put some basic security components, and we have take security as afterthought. So security is built on top of something else. The networks are designed to do some purpose. We thought that security is important, and then we have created bolt-on security components in form of routing security or switching security or whatever, which is not actually a security function. They are just a bolt-on security features provided. Then we are actually talking about the limited security. Whatever we have, we talk about basic access control. About IP addresses, talking to different IP addresses, and they try to do some level of access control and stuff like that. And finally, very, very important thing, what we are actually dealing with is a very, very basic management. On the name of simple management, we are doing the basic management, which means today, if a security head or a network head is asked what is the number of IT assets in the organization, the answer would probably come, we do not know. Because we actually do not have a system control, where we can actually go and find out what assets are online, what are offline, whether they are actually as per our security compliance we actually laid down or not. So, otherwise, there is a gap which we have clearly identified that yes, the way the technology has grown, the way the business has grown, the way delivery channels have grown, security is the biggest gap which we have today in the network and which need to be addressed. Now let's see some of the trends which we are actually dealing with in a different way. So let's see what are we dealing with. So we are dealing with threats. Now threats are going to different dimensions altogether. It's no more threats are and then there is infrastructure which are dealing. So there are threats which is changing, they are getting more and more sophisticated. Then there is the infrastructure which is building upon, which is hosting all these services, data for use. We have people and we have also actual data which is there. So these four paradigms of security or four things which security is going to primarily focus on. Focus on the new threats, focus on securing the infrastructure, focus on people, training awareness, making them aware, and focus on actual data which is lying on these sets and we are trying to secure. Now traditionally we know that threats are viruses, bombs, they are motivated by some hackers, they want to display knowledge, blah and blah. Then we know infrastructure is typically a guarded perimeter, that there are servers, there is a firewall in between the internet pipe and we try to protect. People are anyways known as the weakest link in the entire security chain because most of the security can be actually achieved when people are really educated. Not actually by deploying more and more control, and with some of the live examples of that will come inside. And the data which we actually try to protect. Now let's see what's changing. If you see the threats which is no more non-strict PDs or no display of knowledge, they are moving also beyond money and fraud, and it is becoming an organized crime. And that's what is the challenge. Now, the attackers or hackers or threats which are actually pursuing to be on our network is actually become more sophisticated. As well as the required skill set to do those attacks is actually has come down because of availability of a lot of tools freely available on the internet which people can use and hack our network against. So it has become an organized crime, organized business for that. Then coming to the traditional requirement of infrastructure boundaries which is there on the data centers. What is happening to this is in the new trends this is going to the cloud. Infrastructure we are talking moving to the cloud. We have seen a lot of people talking about the cloud and it's a buzzword in today's technology trend. And what is going to happen when your traditional boundaries are going to diminish and things are going to cloud? So the security challenges which you are today addressing, the security team which today are responsible for securing the systems are going to face totally new, different challenges. It is not going to be the same challenges what was there in the last generation of securing the network. Then the very, very important point, what about the information? Information is supposed to be there in the closed data centers and some storage. But what is today happening in the trend in IT digitalization? This information is actually moving on to the mobile phones or smartphones or PDAs or iPhones, whatever we name it. So actually your infrastructure moves from your traditional boundaries to cloud. Your data information is lying into your infrastructure is moving into IT digitalization in your hand. Threats are becoming more and more sophisticated, they are more organized. At the same time, people which were always a weakest link and now dependency on IT, people have become so IT dependent that if now something happens, the repercussion or the impact of that particular thing is going to be multifold than the actual thing. So the impact is going to be multifold. When people will not know security, which earlier was okay, if people doesn't know. It was still manageable because they were not anyway dependent on IT. Now, what is the other few challenges which we need to see for that? So we know that yes, the way banks have grown, that there are intrinsic gaps which have been included not by choice, but by the way it has been grown and that's true for all the businesses. That there are a lot of legacy operations we create and then move forward. Then there is also a change in the current trends and the way technology is going, the way people angle is coming in, the way threats are evolving and stuff like that. So let's see what is the biggest challenge in front of security decision makers today when they want to buy. They are actually having opposing objectives to be met. What are those opposing objectives are? The objectives on the first phase is given to security manager is reduce the cost. Then, simple management. Let's simplify the stuff. Let's not make it too complicated. And finally, a single window for support. People do not want to go to multiple windows for support, and let's consolidate them together. So this is the objective we start with. And then what happens is, what is the trade-off here? In the quest of getting cost reduction, we actually compromise in performance, which is the biggest problem. Because if you today, the biggest thing is in cost reduction is people say, okay, let's go for a UTM, Unified Threat Management. Now what does it mean? It means let's take one appliance and put multiple controls onto that appliance, and that appliance is dying through it. The moment you start enabling multiple functions on it. So what happened? We went for cost reduction. What we actually got was a performance reduction. At the same time, we, on the name of simple management, what we are adopting to is basic management. What is the difference between basic management and simple management? Simple management essentially means that you actually integrate lot of systems and you make the management so simple that even the layman can actually manage the system, and you convert the policies in such a way. Rather, basic management is you give only few controls to manage. Rest all is intrinsically managed, and people are not aware what is actually happening under that. So that's what is actually happening. So we wanted simple management, we actually went for something else. We actually compromised the intelligence, because now the system, we are only getting syslog messages, nothing more, and they are of no use as far as intelligence is concerned. Because if I am sitting as a security administrator watching a syslog machine, the people who actually work technically will know that it is of no use. It is just after you have to submit some MIS reports before we can use it. Then the third very important, on the name of single window support, what objective we wanted to go, we actually compromised effectiveness, because our actual system, traditional system, used to have best of breed security components. Now we are compromising all of them. The vendor which we have is as a firewall, not known as a firewall vendor. They are not known as an IPS. They don't have any background on security of virus, blah blah blah. There's so many security control. We have actually taken track of all, and we have compromised the master of all. So that's the situation we are in. So what we are ending up with, this is what we have today. We have rigid systems, ineffective controls, and overloaded resources in our system. And that's what is the current state due to the trends which we have actually seen it very clearly that what's actually happening. So let's see now some of the next generation challenges in terms of policy management. We all know that yes, policies as per our network design today means that this IP to that IP is allowed or not allowed, or on these ports from there. But actually today what our IT systems and security systems are dealing is with exceptions, not with the policy. We take a control and we say that this will block all the attacks, and then we start getting users requests saying that okay, I need this is a business requirement, I need this is a business requirement, and then you keep creating holes, and end of the day, IT security administrator is only playing with exceptions and nothing else. There is no policy we are applying, we are only applying exceptions. And what's happening actually is that at some point in time, I have seen in various of the telcos in the banks, the 5,000 lines of access list entries are there, in the end it will not permit anything. Because IT security administrator is now fed up of handling exceptions. He said, okay, who cares, since the last time I wrote ADT, now no request comes to me, everybody is allowed. And what he has done in the West is actually collapse the entire objective of putting security controls there. Then the logs. We have so many devices, the logs are coming, we do not know what is actually the logs which is meaningful. Which is that in one entry of log out of 50,000 which I have to actually work upon. Is everything critical? Is it the fear, uncertainty and doubt which I have to live in? That yes, all the logs is coming in, probably security alerts are coming in, is actually the security incidents, or they are just a hot process. Where every device is, so we actually want intelligence, but what we are getting is the logs. And we need to design our system in such a way that they throw workable intelligence to our administration so that things can be actually controlled in a proper manner. Rather, we go through multiple log entries. Then, very, very important thing is bringing the real world context. Now, this is very example. You can see